Any way you can fix the table so I can, like, have my hands not killing me here?
Well, yeah, it's a concern, isn't it?
Could you do it? Like, are you busy?
Yesterday was a hell of a drive. We didn't get here till super late last night. I just need a minute.
The agreement that Dempsey and I had going into this is that I would work and bring in the money, and she would kind of be like a van wife and take care of everything that has to do with the van.
You know, how can someone be on a trip, be on a journey, be living this van life, not have to lift a finger to make any money, but it's time to stress and moan? It's funny though, because I don't know, some people from the UK, or England, shall I say to be more specific, may not necessarily agree with this, but they know this to be true. But the thing that I have found ever since that I moved out of London city itself in particular, and I'm now living somewhere completely different, I've noticed that people from outside, or people that just don't live in a city, so whether that's people that don't live in London city, Birmingham city, Manchester city, maybe Liverpool city, give or take, okay? I've noticed that they have so much time in their hands. They have time to think about things, and they have time to stress and to let things get to them. When the reality is that if they were living the city life, the fast-paced life, they wouldn't have time to be thinking about things that involve them feeling sorry for themselves. The point that I'm getting here is that, you see, with Dempsey, she's from Darlington, from what I remember. And I've never been there myself in particular, but I know it's a small little village somewhere around here in the north, okay? And pretty much that's a place where, you know, you get to live life at your own pace for the most part, because there isn't really much going on that is fast-paced like you would in the city, where everybody's rushing to earn money because they need to survive, because it's so freaking expensive. Meanwhile, where she's from, it's a bit more different. And also, she's somebody who's free with living the world in the van life and camping and just exploring, not really worrying too much about financial stresses, but always has time to worry about when her own needs aren't being met. And when her own needs aren't being met, very very quick to stress about it. And trust me when I tell you, and that's something that I've learned the last few years since I moved out of London, I'll tell you this now. People outside, once they're in their feelings, they're in their feelings. Usually people in London or in cities in general, when they're in their feelings, it's temporarily, because they know they haven't got time to sit in them, but they know they need to get up and keep going again. But if they don't, then bills aren't being paid, food isn't being put on the table. And I guess this kind of story may relate to people who live in any type of city and, you know, anywhere in the world. But the point is this, is that how dare can she sit there? How dare can she sit there and say that she needs a minute when all she needs to do is literally help the woman that is paying for her enjoyment? But you see, because she's gone on this trip, and this trip hasn't planned out the way she wanted to plan out, and when I say it hasn't planned out, what I mean is she was hoping that she'd obviously be able to arrive at any location, and then as soon as they arrive, they can get up and go and explore and do all these amazing things and not have to worry about one having to work. And that's why she's being like this. But hey, this is just the beginning. Can you imagine? All she needs to do is help her with a simple little table. That's it. That's it.
Something that I really want to do, whether Statler's working or not, I'm going to do that, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be here.
Once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that is being funded by who? May I ask? Who? Okay.
I feel bad for doing these things on my own.
And not having the best thoughts. I'm not feeling supported at all. If I could choose between doing what I'm asking of her to do and doing what I'm doing, I'd pick her any day.
Who wouldn't? Who wants to be away and have to pull out their laptop? I ain't gonna lie to you. I have been a person myself. Like recently, I went away. And I always take my laptop with me just in case, you know, there's work I need to do. Or to be fair, I do intend on doing some work when I'm there. And when I say work, I'm talking about content for you lovely folks. But I ain't gonna lie to you, sometimes I'm just looking at the laptop and I'm like, man, it's been a long day of fun. I am too tired to get at this laptop and make some content. I'm gonna let this go. Let me just enjoy my time away. Let me close the goddamn thing. Obviously, if I don't upload, I won't get paid, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? I can't allow, you know, money to be the thing, that the reason why I don't necessarily go out there and enjoy myself, or at least find time to relax. And since I've relaxed, I've definitely feel more energetic now. But anyway, but the end of the day is that you see Statler over here, she's choosing to do the right thing. But to be fair, at the same time, she's in a position where she really needs to work because she's already explained that she had to pay a whole lot of money. Meanwhile, Dempsey's complaining about, I didn't want to have to do all these things alone. Well, maybe if you had brought money with you to help, oh, that's a very good point. Dempsey has got a couple of money with her, to be fair, to help support them both. But, you know, at the same time, when it came to booking this trip, she definitely asked way too much more money from Statler, and Statler's in a position now where she really needs to make up the money that she lost. So I understand why Statler has to do what she's going to do, but Dempsey, on the other hand, should be more sympathetic. Dempsey should be more helpful to the situation. Dempsey should be more caring. But instead of being more caring, well, we'll see.
Like I'm being used. I can't help but feel like I'm being used.
Oh, nice.
How was biking into town?
It was nice. We can go down there tomorrow.
It was nice. We could go down there tomorrow. If anybody thought that she was getting emotional at this point, this wasn't the beginning of it, because let's be honest, she's cooking onions. Onions affect all of our eyes, let's be real. But let's get into it anyway.
I have to work. Make up for the time. I'll be working every single day for the next 30 days.
It was at this point Dempsey decided to do what she does next, because you see, her learning that her baby, her boo, her woman is going to be working for the next 30 days. It was the moment that she realized that if she's going to be doing anything on this trip, she's going to be doing it alone. Now, granted, nobody wants to be in a situation where you're doing something alone when you travel with somebody. But this is why before you travel with someone, you both do what you can to fund for the trip. And therefore, you both put yourself in a position where you can both stress less for the trip. But here's the thing though, Dempsey's someone who's a bit more free in the world, you know. She's somebody's like, listen, I will just earn what I gotta earn for the time being, use it to do what I gotta do, and when I need money again, I'll just grab a job on the way. And honestly, there was nothing wrong with that. Living life on the whim, being spontaneous to it, just living with no worries. Listen, I love it for her. But why would you go on a trip with someone that actually needs security, that needs to make sure that money's coming, that needs to make sure things are sure? So this isn't a case of where, you know, Statler's wrong for wanting to work or having to work for 30+ days, and Dempsey's wrong for, you know, not wanting to work until she needs to work. No. Both of them are respectfully in their own right to do exactly what they're doing. None of them in the wrong for this. What is happened that is in the wrong is that Dempsey thought that she could probably get Statler to relax a bit more and probably get Statler to live life a bit more free like she does, which was never ever going to happen. And now they're in this little conundrum.
Can only do it for a couple of hours. So that basically means wake up, drive, work, go to sleep. Wake up, drive, work, go to sleep. Drive, work, go to sleep. We're going to all of these beautiful places, but I'm not getting to enjoy them or see them. So that sucks. It's just kind of all like hitting me like.
I can't imagine how much that sucks, to be honest with you. I won't lie to you. If I was in this position, even if I had the mindset of Statler, I may have to sit there and be like, you know what, F it. I need to enjoy my stuff, so forget this stuff. But then at the same time, though, if he really needs this job and doesn't want to lose a job, I understand it. But at the same time, though, this is where Statler should have planned better. I've spoke about Dempsey enough now. Let's talk about Statler. Statler knew that she was going to need to work. She knew the high pressure that was needed. Why did she actually decide to go on this trip? She thought going on this trip was going to help her relationship with Dempsey. She thought doing this was the best way to make sure that they stay close and the best way that they will not lose each other, because Statler is always so desperate to have someone love her and someone to want to marry and someone to want to be with her that she completely neglected who she is as a person. She knew that she wasn't built for this. She knew that she's going to be in a position where she probably would be working quite a lot. She probably didn't realize how much she'd be working, but she knew that, you know, it was going to be some hell of a challenge. And therefore, Statler really should have looked into her life choices before doing this. But instead of looking into it, she just jumped in and said, no, I'm going to do it because I want to prove my love for this one. I want to prove that I want to do blah-de-da-de-da-de-da. So the reality is this, do I feel sorry for Statler for the way she feels in this situation? No. Because the situation was there for you to understand and read. And to be fair, the fact that you was preparing most of the money in the first place was your own biggest sign to say, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this woman is actually taking me for a ride. But you decided to ignore all the red flags. You decided to ignore all the challenges that may come with it and clearly have come with it. And by the seams of it, come more with it. Really and truly, Statler should have never been on this trip. Dempsey should never go with Statler. Dempsey should even be with Statler. And Statler should never be on this trip. And Statler should never even be with Dempsey. It's like one of them knew themselves that they were going to enjoy it. aka Dempsey, and the other one knew there was going to be a challenge but still did it anyway, aka Statler. But then they both knew that this was something that was definitely going to clash with both of their personalities. But they both decided to do it. Whatever happens and that goes wrong, to be honest with you, they both had it coming.
What am I doing?
So much stress on my shoulders. I'm used to living on my own and living freely and going to bed when I want, taking a shower when I want. The bed is Statler's office. I have to think about her as well. It's hard to stay so positive when...
Look at that. Look at her thinking all about herself, huh? Look at her thinking all about herself. Look, I had to come on this trip and I realized that it just can't be the way I wanted it to be. And that's why I said what I said, because she was expecting this trip to go the way she saw fit. We are dealing with somebody that went into this situation so selfishly. The difference between these two is that Statler went into this thinking that this was going to help their relationship. She thought that doing this was going to make sure that she doesn't lose Dempsey. Dempsey, on the other hand, went in this thinking that things were always going to be her way. So we had one person who was selfish, aka Dempsey, and one person that was delusional, aka Statler, in my opinion. Oh, and now Dempsey has the audacity to sit there and start sulking and crying because things ain't going her own way, even though she's barely had to lift a finger. I get it. This is all about the emotional side of things, but let's be real. Let's be real, this goes back to why she is being selfish, because she's now made the whole thing about her, when in reality, what she could do is, she could try and be like, you know what, okay, babe, let me see, can I help you work? Is there anything that I can do to help us speed this up, or blah, 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 blah? Is there anything that I can do in general? Instead of offering to say, oh, is there anything that I can do to make this easier or better for us, she's always in her own feelings. Because you never know, maybe if she'd asked to help Statler, maybe there was a way they both could have made it work in a way that does make sense for them to still both enjoy what they're doing, but also at the same time to at least start to get down with her work. That was a possibility, to be fair. Oh, no, sorry. There is always a chance of that. Not a possibility, a chance of that. But guess what? That chance was never created because, as you can see, somebody's soaking. Huh.
I have to think about her as well. It's hard to stay so positive when someone is being so negative. Hitting me hard is that I thought that I had a partner in this, but I'm actually feeling quite alone.
Oh my goodness gracious me. I don't, so somebody needing to work is them being negative. That is crazy. But like I said before, she's upset, generally speaking, because she thought that they're going to be doing and conquering it all together, which respectfully is definitely what she should have expected. But not something that she should have expected from Statler. Point blank, period. Not because Statler's a bad person or anything, it's just that that's not in her DNA to be able to just relax so easily. Things have to be constructed in a certain way. Statler did say that she gave you a book to read up on herself, to read up on how things can be for her, to basically educate you on her own autism and anything else she got going on. You didn't read that book. Or was the book just based on anxiety? I'm pretty sure it was a book based on all things regarding her, to be fair with you. But either way, whether or not you read the book or not, you definitely have not been paying attention to the person that you're with. But if you had paid attention to the way this woman moves, you would have recognized that this was predictable, bound to happen, more likely to happen, and which it has. Nonetheless, though, let me know. We have got the delusional one. What did I say before? We got the delusional one and the selfish one here. Yeah. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.